The first semi-automatic rifle that was mass-produced was the Winchester 1903, and the first semi-automatic handgun that was mass-produced was the Salvador Dormas in 1893. Between these significant inventions would be the release of the famed Browning A5, which was the first successful mass-produced semi-automatic shotgun. When firearms were first invented, designers had always been looking at ways to fire a firearm quicker. One of the first significant inventions was the primer during the early 1800s, and then the metallic cartridge during the mid-1800s. Originally, the firearms that shot metallic cartridges were all various types of single shots, revolving firearms, and as well as the odd double-barrel rifle or shotgun. In 1860, the first lever-action rifle to take metallic cartridges were put onto the market. There were two of these rifles, and they were the Spencer rifle and the Henry rifle. In 1867, the first bolt-action repeating rifle that would be used by a military was put into production, and that was the Vertelli rifle. The Vertelli rifle was a French firearm that saw numerous variants produced, and it was in service from 1869 to 1889. During the rise of lever-action and bolt-action rifles, shotguns would either be double-barrel or single shots, with the double-barrel shotguns being always side by side. In 1887, John Moses Browning would design the first ever lever-action shotgun, the Winchester Model 1887. John Browning was adamant, however, that a slide-action firearm would suit better than a lever-action for a shotgun. With the right attitude, John would then design a prototype pump-action shotgun, the Winchester Model 1893. The 1893 would later on be fine-tuned by the gunsmith William Mason and would become the Winchester 1897. During the late 1880s, smokeless powder was invented. Smokeless powder burns quicker and is less dirty than black powder. Due to how dirty black powder can be, it was difficult to design a semi-automatic firearm that would reliably shoot a cartridge with black powder. But with the invention of smokeless powder, semi-automatic firearms would soon take off. In 1898, John Moses Browning would patent the legendary Browning A5, and it would be put into mass production in 1902 by FN in Belgium. The A5 is a recoil-operated semi-automatic shotgun. The A5 has a long recoil operation. The action of the firearm harnesses the recoil created by the explosion within the chamber of the firearm to cycle the action. When the round is shot, the bolt and the barrel move rearward. When the bolt goes forward again, another cartridge is put into the chamber. The A5 was intended for use for hunting, and to this day it is used yearly by hunters all over the world, but the shotgun was adopted for military use by a few countries. The A5 would be the standard semi-automatic shotgun used the world over for about half a century. During the mid-1950s, the first successful gas-operated shotguns would come to the market. In 1956, J.C. Higgins would unveil the Model 60, and Remington would release the Sportsman 58. A gas-operated system works by harnessing the gases produced from the cartridge going off. Typically, there is a small vent within the barrel of a gas-operated rifle or shotgun that forces some of the gas towards the rear of the firearm, where a rod or a piston moves rearward to unlock the bolt and then expels the spent round. The bolt will then move forward again and will load in a fresh round. During this period of new innovation, there was much debate about gas operation versus inertia-driven operation. Gas operation typically has less recoil compared to a recoil operation due to less mass moving about. An inertia-driven firearm is less prone to fouling due to there being no gas vent, and thus is usually more reliable and less prone to jamming. As long as a gas-operated shotgun, though, is kept clean and is well maintained, then the firearm should not jam. After the introduction of the gas operation, there were no major advancements in the mechanics of the operation. In 1993, Browning would start to prepare to end the production of the father of all semi-automatic shotguns, the Browning A5, by releasing the Browning Gold. The Gold, for its first year of production, was chambered in 10 gauge, and a year later it would be chambered in 12 gauge. The 12 gauge firearm had two main versions, one that could shoot 2 3/4 inch shells and 3 inch shells, and another that could shoot up to 3.5 inch shells. At first, the 3.5 inch version was prone to jamming, but after a number of years, Browning's designers would rectify the issues and the Gold became an instant classic. In 1998, the Browning A5 would stop being produced, apart from a select few commemorative models that were produced at the FN factory in 1999. In 2014, a visually similar Browning A5 model was announced by Browning. However, internally the firearm was not similar to the legendary shotgun. So that is about how we went from the classic A5 to a more modern gas-operated shotgun and the eventual death of the shotty that started all the hype. Thank you all for watching. I am Ben and this is Ben Doing Things. Leave a like if you wish. Best way to support the channel is to hit that like button and share this video around. Until next time, goodbye.